Namaste, my friend. Let us celebrate the Thanksgiving in our own way, which will help us to evolve and awaken to inner peace and happiness every day. So that at least once you recognize that, you will celebrate Thanksgiving every day, every moment. So close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Find out the most comfortable position of your body so that you are comfortable at the physical level to increase your awareness. You are aware of the neck joint. Being aware means you feel there is a sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You already know it. Move the mind. Don't move the body, but move the mind on the shoulder joints. Feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Move the mind on the entire body, from the top of the head to the toes. Experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Being comfortable means the mind has started looking within. You are getting detached from the people, relations, situations outside because the mind is moving within. We experience a new level of awareness. We experience a new level of awareness. That is what we see, the rise in awareness. If we are comfortable all the time, we live in higher awareness. When you live in higher awareness, those impulsive thoughts, habitual thoughts, do not dictate you. How they dictate you? You meet someone and the impulsive thought is already started working in your mind, and then during the conversation that habitual and the impulsive thought is expressed, and which creates a situation that you don't wanted, you did not want. See the beauty of living in higher awareness. I would say in Thanksgiving, make a resolve that you live, think, speak, and act in higher awareness from the Thanksgiving until the next one. So at present, you are experiencing sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So, how to get rid of those impulsive, habitual, conditional thoughts? Do nothing. Just watch them. They come and go. Do not identify with them. That is what is being carefree we have been practicing. Do you understand? So, what happens, for example, I say in practical life, you meet someone knocks at the door, or you meet someone. So, you are more aware of what is going on in your mind so that the thoughts cannot take you away. Instead of you internally, consciously, mentally and emotionally offer the thanks that you have someone knocking at the door. You thanks to the existence that you are meeting someone. But I don't like. Very good. Your impulsive thought says that you don't like, but emotionally and mentally inside you, say yourself, oh, this guy I'm meeting or this girl I'm meeting, who is going to teach me the endurance, the tolerance. I will meet, talk, think, and speak good of him. What you are doing? You are expressing your peace and happiness. And the life will transform. You are celebrating Thanksgiving. You are understanding how to celebrate it. And then you are going to apply them throughout the year until the next Thanksgiving. That is the meaning of being carefree. I made it very simple. I say thoughts are coming, thoughts are going, thoughts are subjected to some emotions and feeling. You are watching them like the traffic on the road, standing across the road. You do not enter into the traffic while watching the traffic. Same way, you do not enter into the thought and do not get carried away in any situation with anyone in your relations. That would be a great stride in your journey of evolution, my friend. And what you are doing? You're doing nothing. Internally, you are aware. That makes you carefree. So the two steps we can even do with eyes open, but every day when you do it with eyes closed, so that the very practice will remind you how to think, speak, and act in the world all the time. So again, while doing the practice every day, check that your head and the neck, move your mind on the head and the neck, feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the right arm, feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind or be aware of the left arm from the shoulder to the fingertips. Experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the middle portion of the body, from the shoulder down to the waist in the front and the back. Experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. You know, when you do these steps every day, and after that you go out into the world foolproof to celebrate the Thanksgiving every moment in your life, because it is changing your thought process. You are not carried away by the impulsive, habitual thought process. You are not carried away by the strong likes and dislikes. Mentally look at the right leg. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the left leg. sensation, relaxation in stillness. Check that every day when you do the practice and you make it a resolve that I will think, speak, and act in the world for the sake of giving. I will become a contributor and a giver of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom, instead of seeking peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Are you getting it? When your mind reminds you, recalls you that we are here in the world to give peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom, we are a contributor in the lives of others, in a situation, in relationship. What happens to the mind? Mind is purified. That purified mind never gets into anxiety, duality, and a conflict. You are aware of the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. At present, you are doing the practice passively with eyes closed, and you have to bring that practice in everyday life by your thought, by your speech, by your action. Promise me that you will celebrate Thanksgiving every day, every moment from today until the next Thanksgiving. Where is the secret? That I become a contributor, I become a giver, instead of I become a consumer. If you become a consumer, others are also consumer. It will backfire. And that is why we say we are consumed. And when we contribute, we live into that state of calmness and peace. So first we will hit upon the impulsive, habitual, ignorant mind to remind us that we are here to celebrate our life. We are not here to be consumed. Asatoma satgamaya. Mentally say, or you can say it even loudly if you wish. Asatoma satgamaya. Asatoma satgamaya. This mantra your mind should recall the mantra anytime, anywhere, the moment you have a slight anxiety, duality, and a conflict internally. Asatoma satgamaya. So now, by understanding the meaning and the knowledge in this mantra, we are going to change the impulsive, instinctive, habitual mind that lives with the wrong notion. The meaning is, lead me, O existence, lead me from the false to the real. What is false? Anything, any object that is always changing, anything that is perceived by the sense organs is false, because it is constantly changing, because it is not independent, and because it is made up of the parts. And what is the real? Real is permanent, all-pervading, independent. That is our true nature is. So someone said you today something and tomorrow he or she forgets, or you said something and you forget. But what happens, you forget, and then we repeat the same thing again and again. We get into anxiety again and again. We react again and again. Every day, weeks, months, years. This is not the way to live. What is the way to live? To recognize that real, that permanent peace and happiness in every being, bypassing our instinctive and the habitual mind strong likes and dislikes. Your mind will say, I hate this guy. I I react to this guy. I don't like this situation. Are you celebrating Thanksgiving? Are you giving hatred and love, or you are contributing? See that? The message is very clear. So you simply never think that, never move, think, speak, and act like a consumer. Think, speak, and act like a contributor. So that is the meaning of the first line. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. So the existence, O existence, move me, lead me from ignorance to wisdom. What is ignorance? Means false assumption, wrong notion in our mind with reference to the people, relations. If one is crazy, what I have to do with it? If the situation is not chasing you, I'm chasing the situation. My mind, emotions is chasing the situation. That is what the false assumption and the wrong notion is. And the one simple rule, I become a contributor. Oh, even if one is crazy, let me share, care, offer, give calmness and peace. I don't react. Let me offer. Whatever he or she has to say, let him or her say. Mrityurmamritangamaya. Mrityurmamritangamaya. Third line. Mrityurmamritangamaya. O existence, lead me from the mortality to immortality. Lead me from the death to the freedom. Freedom from the death. My friend, what is death? Your mind puts you into anxiety in relation to something outside in the world, with a people or a situation or an event. I am dying. I died. So I die with one person, in the second person, I die with the one situation, in the second situation. Why to die on the Thanksgiving? Giving. Giving means I'm a contributor. I'm not at all concerned what others say, how they behave, what they talk in a particular situation. My main motto is giving, being a contributor, so I have a freedom from the death. The Master says, every time we have an anxiety, I die. How many times I have to die every day? My friend, no more dying. I have to live. I want to live in peace and happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. So what should I do? And you already know the mantra. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Where is the meaning? Let everyone be happy. So this is a giving. This is the true thanksgiving when your mind, intellect, and emotions, when your mind, intellect, and emotions express the thought, speech, and action. What action? Let everyone be happy. Even if someone says nasty thing, oh, you be happy. So that nastiness is not attacking my mind. I have to learn this. I have to educate my mind. If one is nasty, he becomes nasty. Why should I? If one is not appreciating me, it is his or her problem. But I have let everyone be happy. So internally, mentally, emotionally, on the Thanksgiving, I learn let you be happy, let he be happy, let she be happy, let all my relations be happy, because happiness is the essential nature of every human being. And because I'm expressing happiness, I'm thinking, I'm getting emotional that let everyone be happy. I get rid of my anxiety, duality, conflict, problem, and the suffering. Are you getting it? You have to think in this way, my friend. It is going to change you. You have to promise me that this Thanksgiving you celebrate being a contributor, not a consumer, and then every moment you celebrate until the next Thanksgiving. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. What it means, let everyone be in peace. May there be peace for all. You are not carried away by the situation, people, relations with whom you are going to celebrate this Thanksgiving. Instead, you carry them, you move them into the peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. First, emotionally and mentally inside with these thoughts, let everyone be in peace. And then you express that. May there be peace in you, my friend, my son, my daughter, or my daughter-in-law, or whatever it is. May there be peace in your life from today forever. You express it. So how do you express? You offer the gift. You offer the food. That is what happens. And when you do this, you change. I'm more concerned about you should change and transform. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Where is the meaning? May there be completeness in all. But first I should recognize I am complete in myself. But when I'm complete in myself, I'm only complete in myself when I'm not demanding, expecting anything from anyone, from any situation. Instead, whatever the little I have, I'm ready to offer. In the Thanksgiving, if someone comes, you offer the food, offer the tea, whatever. But you have to think in that way. That I am complete in myself and I am a contributor. I am not a consumer who is constantly nagging everyone, praise me, appreciate me, love me. That is not thanksgiving. Then you're thanks taking. Oh, it is Thanksgiving, yes. It is not Thanksgiving. Mentally, emotionally, that is what we do, should do the practice every day, and then we try to, no, not try, but we express our thought first inside our head with emotions, and then we express in the speech and action. So that brings us to the understanding, may there be completeness in me, wholeness in me. And the last line you already know. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. You are singing mentally, emotionally, loudly, whatever it is. That depends on you. What it means, let existence be auspicious, grace all of us. And existence is offering the grace and the blessing to all of us. Who am I to react, to be angry, to be agitated, to react, to expect something from others? My master used to say that if I expect from the world, I become like a beggar. If I contribute in any situation with everyone, whether I like or dislike, I become God-like. My friend, think of it. Think of it. Never forget this Thanksgiving that you are a contributor, you are a giver. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Few more thoughts and understanding about this Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, just think how and why I become a consumer. How and why I become a consumer. Why? My mind. Why my mind constantly seeking from the world outside? Why? So I have to focus on it. I have to understand it. Simple answer. I am searching happiness in a wrong place. And what is that wrong place? I'm searching peace and happiness, love, truth, and wisdom outside in the world. I have to focus. I have to be aware, maintain my awareness. Someone knocks the door. Mind says, oh, let me see who is there. And if he or she appreciates me, well, then only I will welcome. Mind has already created that impression. Instead, the mind should create, oh, thank you. Someone has come. Let me welcome. Let me appreciate. Let me pass on my peace and happiness. Let me express it, whether I like or do not like. I become a contributor. I become a giver. I don't become a taker. So basically, we all are looking for happiness outside, but in a wrong place, wanting more wealth, relationship, wanting the stuff that doesn't truly satisfy. Ancient Indian wisdom, our Indian wisdom, Eastern wisdom says that the real joy and the peace come from inside us, not from the external things that won't last. Why it happens? Now, but mind is constantly in a seeking mode, wants to be a consumer, it has lot of expectations, but why? Our mind and the sense organs are usually caught up chasing the next fun thing in the world, a sense of pleasure. So even we celebrate Thanksgiving as a moment of pleasure. So where there is a pleasure, there has to be a pain. Where there is an expectation, there has to be a frustration. So we are seeking pleasure in the tasty food, with our relations, appreciating that I have cooked the food. No, you have cooked the food because the existence has given you enough to offer the food, to give the food. Thanksgiving. Give it out of peace and happiness to everyone, not expecting any praise or appreciation from them. If they appreciate, thank you very much. If they don't appreciate, thank you very much. You are teaching me, you are educating me that I should have that level of awareness, that the peace is coming from there, appreciation is coming from there. Not from, I don't expect any appreciation from the others. At least you do it on the Thanksgiving and then do it for a week. You see what happens. New phone, getting drunk at the party. These are pleasures. Pleasures is short lived. So I have given the answer that why we are searching peace and happiness outside, because we are a consumer. So when you are a consumer, you have to expect, you have to force others to appreciate you. That you cannot do. Downhill if we get carried away by the mind and the sense organs. And then we fall down into the unconsciousness. And when we fall down into the unconsciousness, then what happens? It is habitual and the impulsive nature takes over us. And once the habitual and impulsive nature takes over us, we are gone. Then first the thanksgiving becomes the thanks-taking, and thanks-taking has lot of blame and complaint and expectation and frustration. And instead of thanksgiving, we celebrate it. But the next 1 week we are frustrated. We are into anxiety, duality. My friend, remember you are a contributor, you are not a consumer. Whatever, God has given you everything. So why it has given you? To offer, to give. Why to give? To express, to bring forth that peace and happiness, which is your nature. So what it means, we have to use our mind, memory, intellect, ego, sense organs. For what? To give. My mind has a memory. I hate you, and you come to celebrate the Thanksgiving. My mind becomes impulsive. It reacts. It is happening in the mind. It has nothing to do with other. Get rid of the likes and dislikes on this Thanksgiving. Remember, my friend, you're not a contributor. You are a contributor, sorry. You are a giver, contributor, giver of whatever little we have in our life. But we are a giver first at the thought level, plus emotions, then at the speech level, then in our action. Pay attention this on this Thanksgiving. Even if you are tired, just keep on giving. Your mind had an impulsive nature of expectations. That is why you go into anxiety even preparing for the Thanksgiving. We have to use the body, the mind, the sense organ, the memory, the intellect, and the ego to give. When you are ready to give on the Thanksgiving, they work in peace and happiness. And if you have the expectations, Before the celebration, you go into anxiety, duality, anger, greed, reaction. Just think of it. Don't believe me. Just check it. So I live within. I am aware of the thought of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina or Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. This mind will continue to run and seek temporary pleasure through the desires of expectations. Expectations means that I expect from you, I have cooked such a good food. I have a lot of expectations. Can you imagine? You go to a restaurant and the waiter comes and you give the order and now the serving the food. But before serving the food, he says, "Come on, you have to appreciate me. I'm serving you the food." What will happen to your mind? So when we are a consumer, when we are a taker, our mind, because of the past impression, have this habit. Our master says, change that habit. We should become a giver, contributor. Then only we can evolve the mind. Then only we can ask the sense organ to see the peace and happiness, love, truth, and wisdom everywhere. It is the intellect who chooses to become a contributor, or it is the same intellect who chooses to become a consumer. Then it passes on its order to the mind. Then mind says, I like this guy, I hate this guy. When I'm a consumer, when I'm a contributor, whatever, whosoever is there, you are already filled with that calmness and the peace, and you are already aware of it. And you are expressing it, you are giving it. There is a deeper reason behind it. Because of the ignorance, I'm a consumer, and that ignorance, that ignorance about the source of the happiness causes the mind to become a consumer. Do you understand? Let me explain it again. Ignorance about the source of happiness causes the mind to pursue the pleasure outside, to expect outside, to react in a particular situation, to be angry on a particular relationship, and to get into anxiety without anything. Ignorance means I have a false notion, I have a false assumption about the source of happiness is outside, is this situation. Are you getting it? Say yes. Controlling desires lifts energy upward. So you're not controlling, you're not suppressing it. Instead of a consumer, you become a contributor. By thinking, by feeling, by emotions. Are you getting it? How difficult it is. You just change your thinking pattern first before you meet someone. You are in a giver mode. That is what the Thanksgiving is. Attachment, ignorance, and uncontrolled desires and expectations pull my mind and the sense organ downward. Then what happens? Thanksgiving becomes the pain giving. Don't make the pain giving Thanksgiving. But I have a great hope. This Thanksgiving you are celebrating, and then you're celebrating the Thanksgiving every moment until the next Thanksgiving. That will be our end of the journey of the self-discovery. What the consumer mind does, consumer mind loves the likes and dislikes. It wants to think of the likes and dislikes. It wants to think in terms of attachment and detachment. It wants to think in terms of hate and love. It wants to think in terms of appreciation, expectations. And what the contributor mind does, whosoever, whatever you are, because today is the Thanksgiving, my mind says you should prosper. Whether you appreciate me or not, it does not matter at all. Because it is today is the Thanksgiving, I'm a contributor, I'm a giver. I will not expect anything from you. Mentally, you are thinking, and then you meet someone, meet everyone. The purpose of Eastern wisdom is the self discovery, it is not others' discovery. When you discover others, likes and dislikes, attachment, detachment, greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, expectations, I become a consumer. I need not to I need not to keep a record of all these things about others. Instead, I should I should keep a record that peace is nature of everyone. Peace is the nature of everyone. Happiness is the nature of everyone. Love is the nature of everyone because the love is the nature of everyone and it is also my nature. So let me be a giver. Let me become a contributor. Instead of, I've repeated many a times, you have to change completely from this Thanksgiving and then you have to tell me your everyday change. So the purpose of the Eastern wisdom is the self-discovery to uncover our true nature. When I become a consumer, it is just like that consumer, I have to remove that consumership. Just as we removed, caked on the mud to reveal the radiant gold underneath. Self inquiry removes, Eastern wisdom removes the accumulated ignorance, masking our inner light of peace and happiness. On this Thanksgiving, this should be the message for you. So, the knowledge we get from the senses, mind, and intellect, we have to change the direction of these sense organs, mind, and the intellect, starting from internal thinking, feeling, and then expressing in my life. It is very easy. For you, I know. You have understood the principles. I understand that intellectual understanding about the self discovery is helpful, but you have been doing the practice for so long that your practice should bring the result on this Thanksgiving. You rehearse. Today, you rehearse mentally and emotionally. And so that tomorrow on the Thanksgiving, you just live into that state. So we should ask what prevents us to become a contributor. Consumership, that is one way. But it is the ignorance, I've told you, false assumption. I carry those false assumptions. I have created an encyclopedia of everyone. One compartment, I hate this guy. Second compartment, I like this guy. Third, he appreciates me. She criticizes me. I have given food to him and still he doesn't care. The unnecessary, through all these thoughts on this Thanksgiving. As a teacher, that is my role. To take your mind again and again away from consumership, to realize the real worth of being a human being is to contribute. That's what I've been contributing, the knowledge from the passed on to me by my master and his master, and for the last 10,000 years. The same message has been passed on. Are they not contributing? No, thank you also for your contribution to me. I always appreciate. So the teacher personalizes, adjusts the teaching based on the seeker's level to remove obstacles, to remove the doubts, to remove the wrong understanding, the false assumption, and the ignorance. Now, what do you mean by the knowledge? Knowledge of the real self. Knowledge that real self is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. That cannot be dropped, that cannot be changed. It is always there. I told you it is deeper inside, and outside I cover it with being a consumer. It is already there inside, and I'm holding back. Are you getting it? That real self is still watching when I become a consumer. The real self does not do anything because I'm become a consumer. I'm searching peace and happiness outside by expectations, by appreciation, because I have given to you nothing. No, 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 not at all. And that hides my real self, and I start living into ignorance. Seeking pleasure and expectations, they are the waves on the surface of an ocean water. Every wave appears, disappears, rises, falls, but the water is the essence. Can you ever think of without waves, without water? I'm seeking a simple appreciation from you is a wave. But that wave is also a water and it is inside peace and happiness. So I wrongly place the source of happiness in others. These are the waves of the pleasure and the pain. These are the waves of attachment and detachment. These are the waves of hate and love. Get rid of these. And it can easily be understood. False consumership creates an idea of a false assumption, duality, and a conflict, hatred and the love. So that creates a second person in me. And that person is constantly changing. That is made up of the parts. That is seeking peace and happiness outside. And behind that, there is a real self, is already present there. I don't see my real self inside me, who can become a greatest contributor on this Thanksgiving. I see that I'm a consumer, then I start running, my mind starts running outside and constantly seeking expectations and then I get into problem. You're hungry. Where do you experience? You experience in the mind. You don't experience the hunger in the belly. All experiences takes place in the mind. Now you eat your food. So where you put the food? You put the food into your belly. So that ignorance is gone in the mind, and the mind says, now I'm happy. Same way, my friend. Same way, my friend. I have to remove the ignorance. What ignorance? I have to contribute. I have to give my peace, my happiness. Declare. You should be proud that in spite of any expectations and reaction, you are still giving the peace and happiness to everyone on this Thanksgiving. Why? Because you have resolved to bring about a change in your life, the transformative life. What others are doing, none of your business. Judgmental mind causes lot of problem. So that is why Eastern wisdom says discernment. The power of judgment comes from the intellect, power of discernment comes from the intellect. I look at the person who has come to celebrate it. My mind says I don't like judgmental. My mind says, oh, that is a great opportunity for me to celebrate Thanksgiving. Let me give peace and happiness. Not even thinking that he or she should change, because my nature is peace and happiness. That is the power of discernment. So when you are judgmental, your mind will constantly looking for appreciation. It will start judging people with the likes and dislikes, hate and love. Consumership will be there. It will cover your real self, and then our Thanksgiving will become thanks taking. Don't make this Thanksgiving as a thanks taking this Thanksgiving. We have been very close. We have been learning together. We have been understanding these principles, and many a times I have seen that you have understood that principle. But because those impressions of being a consumer returns again, but this week, this day, you have to resolve. So this discernment, power of discernment in the intellect, and you are wise. Judgmental mind cannot replace the discernment. Judgmental mind superficially categorizes people, events, situation as good and bad, as right and wrong, by identifying the conditioned society. It divides the humanity. But discernment objectively inquires into the deeper truth of our life and reality beyond the appearance. And you know the answer. If I ask you the question, can the judgmental mind know the real self? The answer is no. Because it is when you are a consumer, when you have strong likes and dislikes, when you have strong hatred and love, then what happens? It builds a big ego in us. It reinforces prejudices. It breeds the self-righteousness. It perpetuates a constant sense of anxiety and duality in me. Are you getting it? Don't do that. But the power of discernment built on the foundation of the love, peace and happiness. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu asato ma sat gamaya. We have done the practice. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. The power of discernment rationally can penetrate the false assumption. It will remove the conditioning of being a consumer, and you are happy there and now, there and then. So it is starting from the thinking that I am a contributor, I am a giver, and I have a birthright to celebrate the Thanksgiving because I am a giver and a contributor. I follow the power of discernment. Many people celebrate Thanksgiving. They are always a consumer. They have a lot of expectations. And they celebrate Thanksgiving, and during that event, they have more challenges in their problem. Because they are guided by their expectations, duality, and a conflict. Thanksgiving has to be celebrated from inside my heart by my pure mind. Those outer gifts and expectations have nothing to do with it. And we run after these smaller things, and that creates a lot of challenges. Thanksgiving is a great opportunity for you to apply these principles first, mentally and emotionally inside, then you express it outside, and then act. Act means that you are a giver. You're cooking the food, whatever it is. A small token, you become a giver, you become a contributor without being judgmental, and then you will see that you are celebrating the Thanksgiving every day until the next Thanksgiving. Thank you, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving.